Burr will line up. And Virginia Tech will be on offense first. Toe meets leather in Lane Stadium, and we're underway in Blacksburg. Touchback on the opening kickoff, and Kyron Drones will come to the fore for the Hokies.
Yeah, Kyron Drones, he has improved week to week, and especially last week versus Boston College. It was the opening series that it really impressed me. He led an 11-play drive down the field, 88 yards, and a touchdown to start that game. And when talking to the coaches about their quarterback, you ask him kind of what has changed for him, and it's really his confidence. Really, after that Miami game where he played against his cousin Cam Ward, there had been a different Kyron Drones out there for Virginia Tech, a much improved, much more confident Kyron Drones.
Drones a fake to Tootin. He'll throw on first down, pressure off the edge, ball's on the ground. Fumble on the first play. Romello Height was able to get in on Drones, and luckily for Virginia Tech, Kyron was able to fall on his own fumble.
And how about that? I mean, right off the bat, they're trying to go for a double move on the outside, and Kyron Drones just holds the ball a second too long. And how about Romello Height? Transferring from USC, trying to bring an extra pass rush ability to this edge of this Georgia Tech defense. What a first play for this Yellow Jacket squad.
His third quarterback hurry of the season, and it puts Virginia Tech behind the chains on second down. Here's Tootin. Met at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for maybe a yard. Georgia Tech, much improved on run defense, Mark. They're fifth in the conference, giving up just 111 yards per game. The last couple of years, they've been a sieve in terms of teams being able to run on them. Much better this year.
Yeah, they're going to need to be, because Virginia Tech comes in as the #1 rushing offense in the ACC. And that was a title that was held by Georgia Tech previously before that Notre Dame game. But both these teams are so effective on the ground, and it's going to be really big for these defensive coordinators to make adjustments after they see what is the run play of the day for the opposing team.
3rd and 19. Georgia Tech brings just 3 underneath. Tootin on the reception. Bangs into a defender. He's not going to be anywhere close to first down yardage. Cornelius Tatum on the tackle, and it's going to be 3 and out for the Hokies.
Yeah, great job by Tyler Santucci's defense. The defensive coordinator for Georgia Tech understands the importance of starting fast, and also understands, look, Virginia Tech last week, and probably their most impressive performance against Boston College, really started fast. And to be able to halt and thwart that early momentum, that's huge for their team, especially playing without their starting quarterback.
Peter Moore, Virginia Tech's outstanding punter, will put a toe into it. Good punt. Shelley's just going to let that one bounce, and it takes a Hokie roll down to the 24. Zach Pyron making his 4th career start. Last week against Notre Dame, his first start of the year, filling in for Haynes King.
Yeah, and he started 9 for 9. We talk about opening drives and the importance of getting started early. Started 9 for 9 passing last week. They scored a touchdown on that opening drive. Now, he did have some ups and downs. Threw a couple interceptions to Notre Dame, and obviously wasn't able to get the run game going. But all in all, Zach Pyron finished with a career-high 314 total yards of offense. He's not as much of an outside run threat, more of a power run threat in the middle.
He's got Jamal Haynes in the backfield. Going to roll the pocket to the right and throw on first down. As a receiver, just throws it behind him. Chase Lane was his intended receiver, Mark. That was dangerous.
And Dorian Strong was baiting Zach Pyron into making that throw. Rolling out to your right, trying to throw late across the middle, back towards the hash. Dorian Strong, the All-ACC cornerback, almost picked that one off.
They give to Jamal Haynes up the middle, picks up about 4, give him 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
So they're going to get Jamal Haynes the ball. You saw the inside carry there. You're going to see him flare out to the side. They need to get number 11 going. Can't say it enough. And on 3rd down, the go-to target has been number 8, Malik Rutherford, the wide receiver, not on the field right now.
Pyron to throw. Looking downfield, has a tight end. That's a first down near midfield. Josh Beetham back in the game after missing last week. The transfer from Michigan. I'll tell you what, when you think about Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator during the week was so ecstatic to be able to get Beetham back.
Yeah, and they need production out of their tight end. This has not been an offense that has featured tight ends very frequently in the past game, but when they can get them going, it helps compress the defense, especially the middle of the field. Keeps the linebackers and safeties honest on their coverages.
Pyron's going to fake the pitch, look for a room to run. Good pickup on first down. Caleb Woodson made the tackle, but not before Pyron got 5.
I think that's the difference, right? You talk about the game plan doesn't change with Zach Pyron in the game as opposed to Haynes King. It's just kind of the effectiveness of the plays, right? That play right there, that's kind of what you can see from Zach Pyron running, kind of straight ahead downhill. Haynes King, he's been known to break one for 50, 60 yards.
Haynes tracked down from behind, falls forward for a couple. That was Antoine Powell-Ryland from the weak side who brought him down.
When we talk about stars of the game, obviously we mentioned Bashal Tootin, Jamal Haynes, but Antoine Powell-Ryland, number 52, he is probably going to be the highest draft pick that is playing in this game right now. With 11 sacks on the season, he had 4 sacks last week. He's an absolute monster off the edge.
Tech converted on their first third down. They face another one here. Pyron to throw. Hawes, the other tight end in the mix, makes the catch, and it's another first down, and he's still on his feet. Powering inside the 35 for 13 yards.
They had to do a great job with motion. They bring Hawes over, and he just runs to the flat. It's just a little pick route, a switch route on the outside, and the safety who's replacing the blitz never finds his man, gets caught up in the traffic. Good completion, good easy completion for Zach Pyron for the first down.
Now the freshman from Tampa, Anthony Carey, in at tailback. He'll get the pitch. Play was blown dead before it ever got started. The officials discussing matters.
Prior to the snap, timeout. Georgia Tech, their first of the half.
And we are introduced to Stuart Mullins and our ACC crew. Georgia Tech getting a timeout before the snap. We'll take one as well. Back to Blacksburg, still scoreless after this.
Deep ball, but also it's his legs. He's able to improvise a ton in the game.
Pyron to throw, has a receiver wide open. That's Boyd, lowers his shoulder and hits the defender, picks up a first down. Avery Boyd is a wide receiver who they moved to tight end this past summer, Mark, because they were very thin there, and he's been a great addition to that room.
Yeah, obviously, trying to go to tight ends early in the game. That's 2 passes, 2 catches, both by tight ends. And these are coming off of play action, right? You're able to establish the run game up in the middle with Jamal Haynes, come off with play action, hit your tight ends.
Here's Haynes up the middle. Antoine Powell-Ryland again on the tackle, gives him about 3 yards on first down. Georgia Tech getting positive yardage on first down on this drive. Just about every time.
They're doing a good job with their front 5 and their tight ends. They're mixing their tight ends in the run block scheme. You've seen Jackson Hawes in a few times, number 85. He can lead block up the middle, kind of like a fullback. Now they're going to empty him out.
They've emptied Jamal Haynes out. He's at the top of your screen split. Pyron wants to go that way. Underneath to Singleton, stays on his feet before the pursuit finally catches up with him. Picks up maybe a yard. It'll bring up third down.
Eric Singleton's that other guy who's really the kind of complimentary wide receiver / running back. They can get him on reverses. He doesn't really line up in the backfield too much, but they want to get him the ball in space, Jamal Haynes the ball in space, and then you want to try to go up top with guys like Malik Rutherford. Brings up a third down, and they're going to bring Jackson Hawes in as a tight end. Now they're going to split them both out, a 10 set. Look for the draw here.
Jamal Haynes trying to pick his way through that line. He stopped shy, maybe gets a yard.
Handoff to Jamal Haynes.
Both these teams are going to use a lot of pre-snap motions and shifts, and that one, as a defensive guy, when I see all the wide receivers walk out to the numbers, I know they're just trying to play a numbers game. They're trying to see how many guys go outside the box and run the inside run. Good job by Virginia Tech understanding the concept that Georgia Tech was trying to implement. And now special teams.
Aiden Burr from 34 yards. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good. Georgia Tech has now scored first in their 6th straight game. Brent Key and company up 3 here early in Blacksburg.
We'll see that as this game progresses, and we'll keep an eye on that featured scheme for Virginia Tech.
Burr sends this kick off to the back of the end zone for the touchback. 3 and out for Virginia Tech on their first offensive possession.
And remember, first play of the game, Tyler Bowen, you see him there, tried to go take a shot, tried to go up top with the double move, and that forced fumble really put them behind the sticks. We're never able to get in their offensive rhythm. This, to me, will be their opening drive, right? As far as they look at it, this is what they've scripted. This is what they've practiced all week in practice.
Drones the give to Tootin. Has room on the outside. Stiff arm, stays on his feet. First down.
And there you go. This is the stretch run scheme. You get the tight end to the side of the running back. The tight end leads across. Watch right here. Tight end's coming in motion. They're getting the stretch run game outside. This time, they're clogged up in the middle, so Bashal Tootin just continues to follow that tight end towards the outside. Again, they are going to feature that stretch run game. They had so much success with it a week ago. It's going to be on Georgia Tech to stop them.
Tootin stepped out of bounds, about a yard shy of getting that first down, and now we get a flag. So that was important that was marked prior to that first down marker. Virginia Tech's going to move back.
Full start. Offense. Number 65. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And talk to Coach Pride kind of just about this evolution of the offense, and especially, he said this is the first time really since I've been here where we've decided to feature certain plays, have certain plays where we say, look, these are our go-tos. That stretch run game has become one of them. Some different roll two passes have been kind of another part of it, but he has started to figure out what this offense is good at, and you've seen it over the last couple weeks with their efficiency.
Tootin up the middle. Got past the initial line of scrimmage for Lamiles Brooks. Brings him down from that free safety spot. And it's a first down.
This is the type of run game that not only works for their offensive line, but their running back as well. Bashal Tootin's so good at finding the lanes and such good vision, able to one cut and get vertical again. So another stretch run play for that first down.
Drones to throw. Felton can't squeeze it.
Pass intended for Felton, incomplete.
Then you've got to get the wrinkle off it, right? As offenses progress, they have their features, and then what they do off them. That time looked very similar to the stretch run play, put it in as a play action, pulled up, and just unable to come down with it was Daquan Felton.
He's shaken up a little bit on that play.
It
Looks like he was looking at his hand, took his glove off. One of the team captains of this Virginia Tech team. Forced to the sideline. Second down and 10. Tootin. Met in the hole by Jackson Hamilton. Falls forward for a gain of about 2. Jackson Hamilton's going to get more playing time today because Kyle Eford is out. Georgia Tech's leading tackler. Injured last week and tried to give it a go today. Made the trip. It's a true game time decision, but can't go. There's Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton transferred in from Louisville to try to give some depth in that linebacker room. He's been needed over the past this week and last week with Eford out.
Third down and 8. Drones to throw. Pressure from Georgia Tech. And he can't connect with his receiver. That's Aiden Green, the intended receiver, and Clayton Powell-Lee, the safety in coverage.
Yeah, really good job by Powell-Lee. He does a phenomenal job of tracking his receiver, and watch him lay out for the football. Good job of getting that right arm on the football. No grab with the left. It's been an impressive outing so far in this first quarter by this Georgia Tech defense.
So for the second time this afternoon, Moore's in the kick for the Hokies, and Shelley standing by on his own 14. That's a great kick from Moore. Spiral. High and deep. Shelley from his 9. Ooh, hit hard at the 14. 53 yards on the punt, just 4 on the return from Rodney Shelley. Tech back in business when we come back.
You must have been homecoming king at Georgia Tech.
No chance.
No, not you?
I don't even really remember much of homecoming when I was at Georgia Tech.
That's not surprising.
Georgia Tech back with the football at their own 15. Haynes, look at Haynes spinning out close to a first down. Caleb Woodson on the tackle. He's going to get about 9.5 on first down. It's amazing when you think about what he did against Duke and North Carolina. You said it in the open, 42 touches, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he finally is 100%, had a sprained ankle at the beginning of camp in summer, and he was never 100% at the beginning of the year. And then last week completely shut down in that loss to Notre Dame.
Yeah, and already 6 touches in the game today.
Make it 7. Trying to get to the line to gain, but won't. Virginia Tech snuffed that one out. And Jalen Jones and company making the stop in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, and Aeneas Peoples just a phenomenal job of getting around the blockers. You see him right here, and just watch the way he's able to move into the backfield. I mean, he's so quick off the ball, beats the double team, gets in the backfield to make a loss of yardage play, and that'll bring up 3rd and short.
Again, they go with Haynes. Gonna have to reach for it. Depends on where they mark, and I think he's gonna get it. Nice play by Caleb Woodson on the tackle, but it was just enough to move the sticks.
Runner made the line to gain. First down.
Yeah, Caleb Woodson's a guy that they've really liked his play, and especially his development this year. You know, he was an overhang outside linebacker a year ago, moved inside, and is doing a good job. You saw right there, moving down towards the line of scrimmage to make a stop rather than catching the ball carrier.
Design quarterback draw, and Pyron will get maybe a yard. Jalen Jones again on the tackle. And that's an area that you really have to watch for today, with Pyron being a different kind of runner than Haynes King.
Yeah, and he's going to be downhill. He's going to be physical. He's going to be a little bit more difficult to tackle once you get to him. Haynes King is a little harder to get to, but once you get to him, you can bring him down. You know, Zach Pyron, a bigger guy, 225 pounds. He can also throw the ball. We haven't seen him try to go downfield much with the football, mostly play action passes up until this point.
They have 4 straight runs to start this drive. He's going to look to throw here, just dumps it off again to Boyd, who's got all kinds of room, stays on his feet and twists to the 38. Jalen Jones again on the tackle, but second time we've seen Boyd with yards after the catch, and Georgia Tech will get another first down.
Yeah, coming into this game, their leading receiver, Malik Rutherford, was kind of banged up. He was a game-time decision. He did dress. He went through warm-ups. We have not seen him out on the field yet. Actually, as I say that, he is now on the field for his first play of the game. But they've been sprinkling more tight ends into this game early.
They faked Rutherford on the end around. Pyron's going to go deep this time, but he swallows it, and he's sacked by Penning. Wilfred Penny got there, and Pyron almost got rid of it, then decided to eat it.
Oh, and Zach Pyron, he had what he wanted downfield. He just missed his wide receiver. Got his receiver in behind. You can see it right here. Watch number 2, Singleton. He's there. Just not enough time to get, not enough confidence in the route to get the ball out early, and that it comes with experience. Good job holding on to the football by Zach Pyron and not fumbling it on the sack.
Pyron's going to run. And there, right there, I think, is a perfect example of Haynes King probably had the speed to get by that defender and use that block, and Pyron didn't. And Penny was able to make the stop.
And you know, it's just the kind of the progress that goes into having a backup quarterback. Right now, you're 3rd and 15, right? You're 3rd and 14, excuse me. You talk to your quarterback and say, look, don't put the ball in harm's way. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a run, just try to get off the field.
3rd and long. We give it to Haynes. He's going to be dropped for a loss. Deontay Jenkins Coley Harvey crushing the fit game today with the monogram on the cuffs.
On his rig? We're going to have to get another shot of that.
He doesn't leave anything to chance. Positive yardage on first down. Big, as you heard from Coach Key. It's big for both of these teams. This return could be big for Virginia Tech. Jalen Lane down to about the 28.
You think he does that on his wrist so he can remember his initials, like where you write down my name on your sheet so you don't forget my name?
I did,
during
because
the game?
I have some serious brain trauma during games, and I will forget your name. You know, we've worked together every Saturday in the fall for 6 years. It does happen. Ball control for Georgia Tech. They've done an outstanding job. Even though they only have 3 on the board, they've moved it and chewed up a lot of clock here this afternoon.
And they've done it on the ground and through the air. Virginia Tech has yet to get anything going through the air. Only one completion so far in this game was to Bashal Tootin out of the backfield.
Drones to throw. Quickly out to the flat. Has 2 receivers out there, and he hits Jalen Lane for about 7. Warren Burrell, transfer from Tennessee. Top cornerback on this Georgia Tech squad. Forces him out.
I think it's important on this drive here to really get Kyron Drones going.
Officials timeout for an injured offensive player.
And that's Xavier Chaplin. That is a tough loss if they lose him. He's the ACC reigning ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week.
But I do think that it's important to get Kyron Drones going. I mean, when he starts getting in a rhythm in games or makes a big pass or makes a big run, this offense starts to feel like it opens up a little more. Everyone is obviously going to be keying on Bashal Tootin so much in this game, but once Kyron Drones, he makes a big run. I mean, it vaults this offense forward and gives them kind of a type of confidence and a threat to the defense that isn't there when Drones is not on.
Coach Pride talked about his offensive line and how they're really coming together. So this would be a shame if Chaplin isn't able to come back in if he's not feeling all right. 2 more college football games today on the ACC Network. 3:30, you got Wake Forest at Stanford out west. And then at 8 o'clock, it's a big one. Number 22 SMU and Duke from Wallace Wade Stadium. Both games available not only on the ACC Network, but also on the ESPN app.
SMU's having a heck of a season.
Still unbeaten in league play. Flip to Green. Avoids the first tackler. Now he gets to the outside, still on his feet into Georgia Tech territory and inside the 40. Miles Brooks chased him out of bounds, but Aiden Green with a big run.
Yeah, Aiden Green is probably one of the least talked about stories on this Hokies team so far. But coming out of spring ball, Aiden Green, the coaches said he was the top receiver as they evaluated him. Got banged up a little bit, and it's really, over the past 4 or 5 games, he's started to get involved more and more on the offensive scheme, not only just running routes, but handing him the ball in the backfield, using that speed on the sideline. He's been a good addition to this receiving corps, especially with Ali Jennings being banged up.
You can see where Green stepped out of bounds just before midfield, but it's still a first down. Drones to throw. Backside has a receiver wide open. Cosnell, the tight end, inside the 20. 31 more yards through the air.
Well, look at him. He's right here. They're going to do a little tight end hide. He's going to leak through here and leak out really late. The defenders get drawn downfield as Daquan Felton takes the defender away and then wide open. Great job of holding the ball for long enough for Benji Gosnell to get open by Kyron Drones.
After just 17 yards in the first quarter for the Hokies, they're exploding on this drive. Gosnell's going to score.
Back-to-back plays by Benji Gosnell, and this one was just a result of Georgia Tech's defense not lining up correctly. Virginia Tech ran up to the ball quickly after that long play, snapped the football, and no one was covering Benji Gosnell.
Gosnell's second touchdown of the year. John Love for the try. Splits the uprights.
And Benji Gosnell, Lines up on the right side of the screen. You see the linebackers talking, not knowing who has who. Well, no one has Benji Gosnell as he goes in.
Anything can happen. Winner is automatically advancing to the quarterfinals.
And they have a chance to knock off Clemson later in this year, so they can get a one loss in that Clemson column. Let's take a look at that last touchdown play and just kind of what happened with the play. Really well-designed play. They took the offensive tackle from the right and moved him over here, hit him. This is the tight end in the tackle position. And look, Kyle Efert, who calls the signals, he's not in at linebacker. So these two linebackers are trying to figure out who they cover. When the ball is snapped, no one covers Benji Gosnell, the tight end, who is lined up as an eligible tackle. Wide open play. That is Tyler Bowen and Brent Pry looking at their giving different formations for this Georgia Tech linebacking crew that does not have their leader, Kyle Efert, in the game.
How does Georgia Tech answer? They start with Jamal Haynes, 3 yards on first down. Wilfred Penne on the tackle. Penne's starting to log some tackles from that DT spot. Haynes with 24 yards on 10 carries. Byron to throw behind his receiver dangerously. As Quentin Reddish was there and couldn't make the catch. 3rd and 7.
Caleb Woodson got away with a little bit of a hold on pause running up the seam. 3rd and 7, you got to look for Antoine Powell-Ryland. They run a lot of stunts up front, a lot of games, but Antoine Powell-Ryland's right there, stood up off the ball.
Short of the first down. That was Beetham who made the catch. Just going to be about a yard shy. Jaden Keller, who got the start this week after an outstanding game last week, 10 tackles against BC, prevents the conversion, and Georgia Tech will once again be forced to punt.
Yeah, and sure tackling. That's one of the reasons why Jaden Keller is starting for them at that Mike linebacker position. He had a huge 4th down stop, stopping the power back Kai Robichaux for Boston College a week ago. In the 4th quarter, very similar type play coming downhill, not allowing any extra yardage after contact.
The Irishman David Shanahan to punt for the Yellow Jackets. Lane standing by. Picks it up at his 19. Makes a couple of men miss. Spins out of another tackle, but can't quite escape the pursuit. Down at the 24. Got a flag down behind the play. Let's check that. Stuart Mullins, our referee today, this ACC crew. This is way behind the play near midfield.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team, number 31. After this is to the goal from the end of the play, first down.
Jason Abbey, the guilty party. That's going to move the Hokies back. You always want to hide, don't you, when that happens on special teams? Try to come to the sideline.
Yeah, especially right
out.
when you see on the upper right hand side, he just physical right around the T of the VT. Timing type penalty. If that was a half a second earlier, maybe not one.
Drones tripped up. Nice play by Tajay Butler. No, check that. That's Gibbs on the tackle. Saeed Gibbs transferred in from Rhode Island. That nickelback spot.
Negative plays on first down have been an issue for both teams, right? You just get behind the chains, don't have the ability to get your normal play call. You got to try to get half back here.
Drones has time. Tooting out of the backfield, but he's met immediately. Rodney Shelley read it and dropped Bashal Tootin for another TFL, 2 in a row.
And really just slow developing routes downfield. Georgia Tech dropped back in zone coverage, and just really no one was getting open. And Kyron Drones, good job checking the ball down, but really delivered that pass, telegraphed it to Bashal Tootin. Good job by Shelley making another TFL. And now Virginia Tech they just got to do all they can to give themselves room to punt this ball away.
Malachi Thomas in at tailback. Drones will look to throw on the run. He's going to keep it. Gets a chunk of the yardage back, but nowhere near the first down. Trinilius Tatum on the stop, and Virginia Tech will be forced to punt. Brent Key was right when he was talking to Coley. Yardage picked up on first down has been huge in this game for both of these teams.
Yeah, massive. Brent Key looked at it and said, that's a big issue, but when you get behind the chains on first down and you get a TFL, it puts everything out of whack, right? You have to call a second down play to try to give yourself a chance on third down. If second down goes wrong like it did there, then you really don't have much of a shot in this drive at all. You have to worry about not turning the football over, giving room to punt the ball away.
Moore with another great kick. Georgia Tech will scrimmage from the 31 when we come back, trailing 7-3 in this one. Haynes picks up 3 on first down. Coley's got more.
Yeah, Chris, Hokies defensive end Antoine Powell-Ryland actually grew up just outside Norfolk, Virginia, the same area as Bruce Smith, the former Hokie and Pro Football Hall of Famer. Over the past year, since APR transferred here, the two have formed a very close bond. In fact, Smith was at last week's game when Powell-Ryland had that 4-sack performance. APR's most important piece of advice he's gotten from Bruce Smith: don't waste a rep, don't waste a pass rush opportunity.
Singleton has blockers in front of him and a lot of speed on the outside, close to a first down. He's right at the marker. Sam Boomfield as they call him, making the tackle, but that's to your point earlier. Got to get Singleton out there on the edge, let his speed do the work.
And you talk about APR and Bruce Smith, and it's kind of cool to be a player in college and have someone that you can look up to that he probably didn't watch play growing up because he's so young, but you go back and look at the film and you look at the reps that he had in this same uniform, in this same building, and that's a cool thing.
Carey, the freshman, up the middle. Powers is it way forward for 5.
And even just being able to meet him, right? Being able to meet one of these guys who, probably one of your idols, right? One of the guys you look up to. You might not be the first overall pick in the draft like Bruce Smith was, but I remember meeting Bill Romanowski for the first time at Boston College. He was an unbelievable Boston College linebacker, and be able to talk to him, it's cool because he was in those same shoes as I was.
That's great. Powell-Ryland started his career at Florida in the second year now, bobbled and caught. And that is Malik Rutherford, his first catch of the day.
Malik Rutherford has been so productive for this offense. And 6 of 8 games this year, he's led this team in receiving, and coming into this week, he's led the ACC in receptions. And, he has caught a pass also in 24 straight games, as it says right there. I mean, he's a guy who's been consistent for this team, battling through injury to get out here and play today.
Now in the Virginia Tech territory, Pyron with 8 completions on the day to 5 different receivers, spreading it around. Now they're going to run up the middle. Carey has all kinds of room, down to the 30 and inside. Jalen Jones brought down the freshman, but not before he scampers for 17.
See, Georgia Tech's going to use different types of gap scheme runs. Watch the pullers from the left-hand side. They're going to get around to the right-hand side. This is a different type of run game than Virginia Tech you're going to see. You're going to see that outside zone stretch run play from Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech is going to give you more of those inside pullers and the gap scheme runs. Good run by the freshman.
Carey's going to get another opportunity. This time he is dropped for a loss.
How about that play?
Wow.
Getting into the backfield.
Mason Stevens.
You see him lined up on the left side of the line, just comes off the edge of the tackle and trying to occupy him with the quarterback run fake. Virginia Tech overloaded that side. That created another negative play on first down for Georgia Tech.
Pyron to throw. He's got time. Going to the end zone for Singleton and just overshoots him. Covered well by Jalen Jones, the safety.
Yeah, and I like that throw by Zach Pyron. You know, it wasn't catchable by the receiver, but you're stretching out the defense, even just giving them a threat that we can go down the field. Make them honor those deep routes. Good job of putting it on the outside where if his receiver doesn't catch it, no one catches it, but now it's going to set up another 3rd and long for Georgia Tech, and they have had trouble kicking field goals. So this is not a clear-cut field goal opportunity from this point for Georgia Tech.
Pyron to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Has his receiver in low and can't connect. Chase Lane was the intended receiver. Pyron on the run, just couldn't get it there.
Very difficult to get the ball out downfield deep. Rolling to your left and throwing across your body.
And they're going to attempt a 50-yard field goal here. Aiden Burr is in to kick it. He's got plenty of leg. We called the spring game for Georgia Tech last spring. He kicked a 50-plus yard field goal in that game. Good snap, good hold. The kick is down. And it's good. What special teams issues?
I mean, I'll tell you what, that is so big for this Georgia Tech team. And Brent Key's confidence in his kicker, were woeful last week on special teams. Great job putting this one through from long distance here. Bright red trees.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful right now.
It's still summer in Atlanta.
Yeah, well.
It's been hot. Hopefully that will change soon.
You a lake guy or you an ocean guy, Chris?
Lake. I mean, if you're living in Georgia, it's all about the lakes. Hey, coming up at 6:30 Eastern, the ACC Huddle crew. They got highlights and complete breakdowns of all the afternoon conference games, including this one. They're going to get you ready for tonight's SMU Duke matchup. That'll kick at 8 o'clock on the ACC Network. Then after that game, we've got recaps and analysis of everything that has taken place on the day in the ACC, including Georgia Tech's special teams with an outstanding start today, and Aiden Burr with a career-long 50-yard field goal to get Georgia Tech to within one. Watch out here, Tootin. Makes a man miss inside of Georgia Tech territory and down to the 34.
Going back to the stretch play again. Bashal Tootin, only 4 carries up into this point, but you see them stretching the field, getting the wide receiver blocking downfield, talking to Tyler Bowen, the offensive coordinator, said, look, we cannot have explosive plays unless our wide receivers block. Great example of blocking downfield by his wideouts.
Now Drones fakes it to Bashal Tootin. Gets it out to Harrison St. Germain. Has a nice pickup on first down. Coley Harvey on the field. What's going on?
Well, Chris, 2 Virginia Tech drives ago, we saw left tackle Xavier Chaplin leave the field. He was immediately taken into a medical room that's behind the Hokies bench in a tunnel there. And when he came back out, he had a wrap around his left shoulder. I noticed him trying to test it during the previous timeout, and he was in some serious discomfort every time shaking that left arm out. I will note that since he's been back in the game, the Hokies have not run a play to his side of the field. Everything has gone to the right side, so keep an eye on that here.
Until that play right there, which was a big-time loss. Malachi Thomas was dropped by Sylvain Yonjun, man from Belgium.
Yeah, Sylvain Yonjun working on Xavier Chaplin. Watch him on the left side, just working inside of him. It was a good job of beating the block by Chaplin. You wonder if that injury has anything to do with that last play.
Yonjun, who missed all of last year with an injury, 32 in white. I mentioned he's from Belgium. Played his high school football in New Jersey.
Yeah, about to say at Don Bosco.
It's a big-time program, isn't it? 4 receivers to the bottom of your screen in a bunch formation. Now Gosnell in motion. Drone's looking that way. Wants his tight end. Hits him, and he's really close to the marker. DJ Lights, he might have dropped him just a bit shy. It's going to be 4th down.
They're going fast. Big quarterback.
Moves the pile, looks like just enough, but just the far side. That official came in Maybe not. If depends on which official marks the ball down. The far side looked like he was prior to the 25. But they mark it a first down. Not as automatic as Virginia Tech fans probably hoped with the big quarterback. It's impossible to see in that scrum where the football is. Right on the 25. Fresh set of downs for the Hokies. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Bashel back in the game, and he gets the carry. Picks up 5. Tay Seymour driving him out.
Pretty cool look with that tinted visor there. Just
The total package.
total package.
Now he's out split at the top in that bunch set again. He's got 62 yards on 6 carries. Drones wants to run it. Has blockers in front and some room. 15, 10. Finally, Amari Harvey drives him out, but it'll be first and goal for the Hokies.
Again, this defense, you got to understand the situation. They spread all the wide receivers and running backs out to the numbers. That, to me, is going to signify a draw play. It's going to be a run play. Try to get numbers in the box. Good job by Kyron Drones. We talked about the big play gets him going. And it was 2 big plays to Benji Gosnell, their tight end, on the last drive. Really got Kyron Drones in the groove. Now he's doing it with his legs and with his arm.
First and goal for the Hokies. That's Lane in motion. Drones shoots it out to him. Bobbles it at first, but then gathers it. Down to about the 6. Zachary Toby, who had come in for one play for Amari Harvey, who lost his headgear on the last one. On the stop, we've reached our 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute.
Hokies up by a point here late in the first half, but threatening to add more to the scoreboard. Auto Owners Insurance halftime report coming up in just a few moments. The Huddle crew will be at Duke. Get you set for SMU and Duke tonight, primetime on the ACC Network. Got first half highlights and reactions here. Going to take a look at Florida State and Miami. That rivalry renewed this weekend. And a whole lot more. Auto Owners Insurance halftime report coming up. Second and goal for this Virginia Tech Hokie team. Drones, now the reverse. Lane wants to throw it back to Drones. Touchdown, Hokies.
Well, last touchdown play was a tackle over where they got their tight end wide open. That one on the reverse pass, Kyron Drones wide open
Georgia Tech, their second of the half.
in the end zone.
Second timeout.
Interesting timeout taken there. Watch here. They're going to motion across here. Jalen Lane's going to come and take the reverse. And this is the guy right here. That's Tay Seymour. He has got to keep his eyes on anyone leaking out. He gets sucked in on the play. And wide open is Kyron Drones. Kyron Drones, such a threat. Running the ball and passing the ball. Not often does he get involved in the receiving game, but you see the smile. They're feeling good on offense right now.
And that timeout on the PAT means that with minute 51 left to go, plenty of time in this first half, you only have one timeout at the start of the drive for Georgia Tech.
You gotta wonder if Brent Key, was trying to find out whether there was an illegal motion or shift or something, to have that be reviewed.
Teams 3, 4, 5, 6, that next group of teams are going to be in the league. Tech will have 1:51 here left in this first half. Coley Harvey's got a report from their sideline.
Yeah, Chris, some bad news right now for Georgia Tech. Running back Jamal Haynes, during Virginia Tech's scoring drive, ran into Georgia Tech's locker room, and then he came right back out a few moments after that. Did not have his shoulder pads on then. Athletic trainers were evaluating his left shoulder as I was standing just behind the bench. He had a towel over his head. But then right as that happened, he ran back into the locker room. So we do not see Jamal Haynes right now. We'll keep an eye as we go into halftime.
Yeah, that looked like a walk of resignation more than a running back into the locker room there. That did not look good for Georgia Tech.
No.
With Jamal Haynes' shoulder pads off. Now we get a flag, and we're going to get a delay of game. This drive is not starting the way Georgia Tech had hoped with the final 2 minutes of this first half on the board.
Play of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We talk about the importance of not getting behind the chains, and coming out of the timeout, you get a delay of game.
Yeah, it's a first down, right? I mean, it's first down, and you're moving backwards. And both coaches, understand that is just so detrimental, especially in a 2-minute situation with an inexperienced quarterback. You got to get positive yards.
Pyron shoots it out. That's Jenna, and he's going to take maybe gains 2. Mansour Delane in coverage.
What a play by Mansour Delane. He had 9 tackles in the TFL last week against Boston College. That was a great job of shedding the block.
Virginia Tech. Their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
Just shedding the block and getting to the ball carrier.
So now it's Virginia Tech 2 taking the timeouts.
Please reset the game clock to 1:42. 1 minute 42 seconds, please. Thank you.
So they'll set the clock at 1:42, 2nd and 13 for Georgia Tech. Virginia Tech calls the first of their 3 timeouts. What do you make of those games up top? Florida State, Miami. The fact that that's not at the top of the marquee anymore is bizarre, isn't it?
Well, and it shows really what Florida State's been dealing with so far this year. They really have not found their rhythm, and obviously lots talked about that. But the SMU Duke game, that's going to be an exciting game. SMU is the one, again, that no one is talking about. Everybody's talking about Clemson, Miami. Well, SMU, they're still undefeated. I mean, they're going against a very good Duke team as well, and that's going to be a fun game. Could be a spoiler alert for SMU. They have to come ready to play.
SMU unbeaten in the ACC, as was Pitt, with a huge win on Thursday night. Defense. That shot way over the head of Eric Singleton. That will stop the clock and bring up 3rd down and long for Zach Pyron and company.
And that series of events was all because of the delay of game on first down. You get behind the sticks on 2nd down. You have a pass that goes over the head. Now you're 3rd down and long, and with just nothing that you can do, especially with this little time in the 2nd quarter.
Virginia Tech not showing pressure right now. They're going to come with 4. And they do. Georgia Tech hands it off to Carey. He's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Wilfred Penne has had a great game in this interior defensive line for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he's been great, and really this defensive line for Virginia Tech has done a good job of getting on the shoulders of these offensive linemen for Georgia Tech all day, just able to dip and lean and get through.
Timeout.
And with only 4 defenders really around the line of scrimmage, able to stop that draw play.
Please reset the game clock to 1:32. 1 minute 32 seconds, please.
Virginia Tech calls its 2nd timeout. Georgia Tech early in this game moved the ball, chewed up clock, and 3 and outs in their last 3 possessions.
Well, they don't have Jamal Haynes on the field either. And when you don't have your most explosive player on the field, really your 2 most explosive players, because Haynes King and Jamal Haynes are both not on the field, your options become very limited in what you can do. And so you got to try to chip away at yards, and Brent Key right now, as they go into the locker room, they're going to have to figure out a way to move the football on offense without their 2 best players.
Haynes King offering up support for his offense that has stalled here in the 2nd quarter. And now Brent Key and company just hope to get to the locker room down 8. Shanahan to punt it away. End over end kick is going to be returnable for Lane. Catches it at the 30. Nice job in coverage as he's dropped after a 7-yard gain. That was Austin Dean, backup linebacker. Did a nice job.
That was a huge tackle.
Yes.
I mean, that punt was not supposed to go to the right side of the field, and good job by Dean with the one-on-one tackle. Now Kyron Drones, he gets his turn for a 2-minute drive here. A lot of times teams will opt for a drive starter play, whether it's a quick pass to your running back in the flat or a read option, run play to try to get a chunk on first down.
Give it to Tootin. Just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and hit hard. And he loses a yard. That was Amari Harvey.
And Zeke Biggers, the big 6'6", 330-pound defensive tackle, he was the first one to kind of push Tootin back. And
There's Biggers. He was actually smaller this year. He lost a little bit of weight. Remember, he was massive.
he's still so big,
Yeah,
but you're right. But he's more mobile. He's able
Right.
to make plays like that.
Drones flushed. Safety valve. Gets it in the hands of Malachi Thomas, makes a man miss, and is brought down after a gain of about 5. Clayton Powell-Lee brings him down. So it's Georgia Tech's opportunity here to get off the field on 3rd down and 6. Clock ticks inside of a minute. Virginia Tech still has 1 timeout on the board. Drones to throw. Has his receiver. I think he's going to be short of the first down, though. Warren Burrell did an outstanding job of dragging Daquan Felton out. I think he's going to be about a half-yard shy. Let's see where they mark it. They got to get to the 35. Clearly shy. And now if you're Virginia Tech,
I think they're going to run the clock down
yeah,
and
punt it away.
The one thing you can't do is give Georgia Tech, that does not have their starters in the game at running back or quarterback, a short field to work with right before half. I think you run the clock down here, call timeout, kick it away.
Really great job by Warren Burrell. Because Daquan Felton is not a little dude. He's 6'5", 216.
Both these teams have been tackling really well in this game. Very few missed tackles on the defensive side.
Timeout. Virginia Tech. Their 3rd and final of the half. 30-second timeout.
What's going on around the league? We're going to get a lot more flavor when we send it to the huddle crew here at the half, but wins under their belt. They'll finish the year with games against the Citadel in South Carolina, so their ACC slate will wrap up early. Fair catch for Shelley at the 9, and that's going to do it for our first half. Georgia Tech started a house of fire in this game, getting on the board first, but it's been mostly Kyron Drones and Virginia Tech since. 14-6, Hokies on top. Let's send you to the huddle crew in Durham. Hopefully they'll have number 11 in white back in there. Eric Singleton back to receive the kick. He'll get no opportunity to do so with the touchback. Coley Harvey's down on the field.
Yeah, well, Mark just mentioned it, that Georgia Tech running back Jamal Haynes, is back on the field in uniform. We did see him leave with that shoulder injury in the first half. And when I talked with Georgia Tech head coach Brent Key about that, he said there's still some uncertainty about whether Haynes will be productive in this half. We will be keeping an eye on that. There are also 2 other injuries to note for the Yellow Jackets. Nickel corner Saeed Gibbs was testing out his left knee during halftime, and also Zachary Toby went into the x-ray room at half. We'll keep an eye on all 3 of those guys, fellas.
Yeah, thank you, Coley. That's not good. 2 defensive backs banged up. You're seeing Jamal Haynes start the second half and get a carry, just 1 yard, but again, he's making adjustments. Obviously, everything he does is going to be now looked at with a fine-tooth comb. He's got the jersey torn a little bit here by his left shoulder. 2nd down and 9. Pyron to throw. Wanted to swing it out, but his receiver fell down. Now he's trying to improvise and just throws it away. Wanted to get Eric Singleton, but he fell down.
Yeah, hit a gravity wave out there towards the numbers. Just you see Singleton in motion. They're trying to set up a quick bubble screen to him. He stops, and when he stops, falls down right on the hash mark. And that brings up 3rd and long.
It's a good thing Pyron didn't throw it, or Dorian Strong might have taken it the distance. 3rd and long. Haynes is in there to block. Now Pyron wants to go downfield. Miscommunication with his receiver, Chase Lane. Lane broke off the pattern, and it's 3 and out.
It usually is an automatic on the outside for Chase Lane. And Zach Pyron, just miscommunication. Sometimes in these route combinations, it says, hey, if you have man-to-man press coverage is an automatic go route. That's what Zach Pyron had thought. Chase Lane ran the comeback, and 3 and out again to start this second half.
Tech picked up 4 first downs on their first drive of the game, Mark. They have 4 in total since. Shanahan to punt it away. Lane standing by on an end-over-end kick. Lane's going to get a chance to return it. Makes one man miss. Out to the 42 on an 8-yard return. Kyron Drones and company back on the field. It was a successful first half for Drones. We mentioned what he did in the second quarter. Also, Bashal Tootin was able to get going on the ground and as a receiver after a very slow start. So Virginia Tech humming along here offensively. Let's see if they carry it through into the start of the second half. Tech brings 4, Drones to throw. He's going up top. Just over the outstretched hands of DeQuan Felton. Good job in coverage by Amari Harvey. Coley, what's going on?
Chris, I also spoke with Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pry at half, and I asked him specifically about that stretch run that we saw the Hokies doing with Bashal Tootin there in the second quarter, how much success they were having. He said, hey, that was great. We just got to keep doing it. Got to keep staying with that run. So we'll see how often the stretch plays a factor here in the second half.
Yeah, and right here, this is where you got to look for it, right? When you get the tight end to the side of the running back, that's when you see the stretch run play be involved.
Instead, it's Drones keeping it himself.
Drones on the quarterback keeper.
Doesn't get much. It'll be 3rd and long.
Number 4 on the stop for Georgia Tech.
Virginia Tech has been in 3rd and long a lot today. They average 3rd and 12 and a half.
And they're 0 for 4.
And they're 0 for 4
Most
because it's hard to get 3rd and 12.
Let's see what they draw up here. Stephen Gosnell in motion to the top of your screen, now in the slot. Tech comes out of pressure. They bring just 4. Drones still flushed. Has to dump it down, and Tootin can't squeeze it. Romello Hyde applying the pressure. Tech's done a pretty good job of flushing Drones out of the pocket, bringing just 4 today.
Yeah, they have. And that time they flushed him away from where all his routes were running. All the routes towards the right side of the field were slanting back in towards the middle. And the only option was to kick it out to his running back in the flat. Good job by this Georgia Tech defense. Not worrying about what their offense is doing. We're going to come out. We're going to get the ball back. 3 and out for them as well.
Moore's kick is end over end. Shelley has room. Gets it out to the 30. After both teams exchange 3 and outs and punts, Georgia Tech back with the ball when we come back. Jamal Haynes back on the field. The fake to him. Pyron looking to go up top. Over the middle. Has it deflected. And falls harmlessly incomplete. Trying to hit Malik Rutherford. Caleb Woodson got a hand up.
This was a phenomenal play by Caleb Woodson from the middle linebacker position. Watch him here. He's going to come up on the run fake, and then he bursts back out into the throwing lane. And just great job with his vision. You burst back out as a linebacker, take a peek at the wide receiver, almost had an interception. If he wasn't there, that would have been a big completion for Rutherford.
Haynes in motion out of the backfield. Pyron looking his way. Now he's in all kinds of trouble. And just throws this one away. Aeneas Peebles applying the pressure.
It makes such a difference for your defense when you can rush 4 and get that type of pressure. You know, so much talk around Antwan Powell-Ryland, but Aeneas Peoples, he transferred here from Duke, and he was a wrecking ball in the front of that Duke defensive line last year. He was one of the biggest acquisitions this offseason for Virginia Tech's defense.
Pyron, for his last 6 passing, so he's going to try and do it with his legs. Gets tripped up about 2 yards shy of the first down.
And you talk about the effect of the rush. Antwan Powell-Ryland didn't get any pressure, but Jamal Haynes, their most explosive offensive player, had to be wasted chipping Antwan Powell-Ryland. He came up, he chipped him off the tackle, unable to get out on a route. And when you are spending one of your top performing offensive players on a defensive lineman to chip him so he doesn't get pressure on your quarterback, that's a problem for an offense.
Series of punts continues. Shanahan. Lane. Oh, he gets hit hard up top. Picks up maybe a couple. Virginia Tech with the ball in their own 20 when we come back. Hokies up 8 early second half.
Hope you are hungry, Hokie Nation. We are in the southeast corner of Lane Stadium, and it is time for the Benny Slice-Off between 2 Blacksburg teams. We got Cerise and we got Troy. They got 30 seconds to eat as much of this Benny Slice as they can. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, eat. Come on, guys.
He's 2, and this is an important cause for Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pry. His mother-in-law, his wife's mother, Jocelyn Landry, herself, she is a breast cancer survivor, fellas.
Yeah, it definitely hits close to home for so many people, including Coach Pry. And he's got the pink shoes on today. We've seen some patients from that hospital here recognized and cheered on by the fans today. So it's a big day in that regard as well. Bashal Tutin's been having a big day, but not on that play. Drop for a loss.
Try to go back to that stretch run play again with that tight end leading. That was time a good job by the defensive front for Georgia Tech, getting penetration and not allowing any cutback lanes for Bashal Tutin. Another negative play on first down for these teams just makes it so much more difficult to convert and extend these drives.
Joshua Robinson with his 2nd TFL of the year. Now puts the Hokies behind the chains. Drones trying to change that with his arm. Hits Felton. And again, Burrell is able to hang on and prevent Felton from picking up the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
Does a good job of Kyron Drones getting the ball out quickly to his first read in Felton. And that takes some maturity, but now you're in 3rd and manageable really for the first time all day.
That's Green in motion. Jones looked his way, then checked it off to the tight end. Gosnell, first down.
Benji Gosnell has been such an addition to the production of this offense, right? He's been here for a while. I think who once committed to Ohio State, decommitted, came to Virginia Tech. He has really opened up this passing game in the middle, creating mismatches against linebackers and safeties.
He came to Virginia Tech, and then his brother transferred in from North Carolina. He's a receiver on this team. Tutin met at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Tajay Butler, the true freshman linebacker, on the stop.
And it's interesting, you're seeing the adjustments that have been made at halftime from Tyler Santucci, the defensive coordinator for Georgia Tech, right? He understands, okay, we know they're going to come into this game featuring the stretch run, but what variation of this stretch run are they going to show? The first 2 times that they've attempted it in this 3rd quarter, they've been tackled for a loss of yardage.
Once again, 2nd down and long. Drones to throw, going up top, trying to get it to Lane. Just a little bit too far. Warren Burrell with outstanding coverage, step for step. with the speedy Jalen Lane.
Yeah, really good job by Kyron Drones putting this ball out there. I think Jalen Lane actually peeked up at the ball a little bit too long. Sometimes a wide receiver, you get a peek at the ball and you put your head down and you run a little bit to create a little bit more separation. Well thrown football, but again, another 3rd and long for Virginia Tech.
The last conversion was their first 3rd down conversion of the day. Georgia Tech bringing pressure up the middle. Drones avoids it at first. Wasn't able to connect with a receiver, though, as Tace Seymour from his free safety spot chasing Drones all over the field.
And there were 2 wide receivers right at the end of the play. It looked like Ali Jennings and Stephen Gosnell both had an opportunity to catch that football. But both of them just allowed the football to travel past him. Good defensive stance again for Georgia Tech.
There's Moore once again to kick it off. He's had a good day today. That's a good punch. Shelley comes up to make the play. Can't. Still loose. Inside the 5. And a huge special teams gaffe once again for Georgia Tech. Jason Abbey, 31, made a big mistake on special teams earlier in the day.
And they're saying, I think the officials are saying it's Georgia Tech football.
The kick was illegally touched by the kicking team at the 12-yard line. First down, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so what they're saying is that the returner never touched the football, and the first touch was by Virginia Tech and then batted it back forward.
Right.
So
that's where the ball will be spotted, where it was touched.
Yep, exactly. So
Wow.
Georgia Tech, you talked last week,
Yes.
had a bad snap on a punt, a blocked field goal. Notre Dame converted on a fake punt and a fake field goal
Wow.
going into this week. It was like, man, yeah,
The
we have
ruling on
got
the
to.
previous play that the kicking team illegally touched the ball is under further review.
Yeah, they're reviewing this to see if Shelley touched it at all. This is where it makes the play. No,
Oop, did it?
unless it hit his leg right there, but I think it was well beyond him.
I think it was too. Yeah, it travels past him. Man, Shelley gets
Lit up.
incredibly
after.
lucky.
Yeah, he gets lucky, and then he got lit up.
Hey,
Can't see there whether the ball changes its
no, and the call on
trajectory
the
or
field.
anything.
The call on the field is that it did not touch
Yeah.
the returner. But that's you saw the coach with his arm around Shelley's shoulder. Just like that can't happen. And it's interesting. They're showing it on the big screen here, exactly what you're seeing on the TV. And the crowd's cheering, thinking that it did touch it, but
Well, our replay official is Rusty Acree. He hasn't gotten a whole lot of work today, but this is a huge call in this game.
it's pretty clear he did not touch the football. And then you're going to look at the spot of where that's right at the 12-yard line.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty.
It's right where it was initially touched by the kicking team, which would be the 12 or 13-yard line. That's where they'll spot it, and that's where it's spotted right now, unless the replay changes that.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
And that was a play that Georgia Tech has had all kinds of issues on special teams the last few weeks, and he certainly did not need another gaffe, and Shelley fortunate that he did not touch that ball. And Georgia Tech will get possession and will start this drive from their own 12. Can they take advantage of the break? Pyron to throw, has pressure, loses the football. Still loose. It looks like Georgia Tech recovered it right on the goal line. Keelan Rutledge, I think, was the one who fell on it.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Wow.
Second down.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. You see Zach Pyron's arm and hand coming forward. And then that being knocked out.
Kelly Lawson was the one who got a big mid on it. Hand coming forward, incomplete pass.
Well, those two plays certainly got this crowd involved in the game, and it results in a false start by Georgia Tech. But there's not one person sitting in the stands right now.
Full start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Inauspicious beginning to this drive for the Yellow Jackets, and they're backed up right now on the goal line with that end of the stadium with the Cadets.
It's interesting, right? You had that almost muffed punt return, but just that woke the crowd up. Regardless of anything, the crowd feels like, okay, now we're in justified. We got to go make it right.
Haynes being chased. Shows the speed to the outside and the explosion, and is able to get out to about the 13. Long run for 6 yards.
Jamal Haynes made something out of nothing. Antoine Powell-Ryland was right there in the backfield, broke a tackle, got his way to the edge, and his speed and agility got him upfield. Now 3rd and long, and this Hokie Nation is involved in this play.
Pressure comes, it's picked up, dropped. Rutherford had it in his hands, and he had a first down, and he dropped it.
Zach Pyron did everything right on that play. Knew that they were going to bring pressure, got the ball out fast, put it right in front of his wide receiver. Malik Rutherford just unable to hang on to that football.
It'll bring up another situation here for Shanahan, punting from inside his own end zone. He needs a good one here. Lane, it's returnable from his 47. Reverses field, look out here. Finally brought down, but not before a big return. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, 26 on the return for Jalen Lane. Virginia Tech set up in beautiful field position to start this drive.
Yeah, and it was just a low punt with not a lot of hang time. And so your cover guys are not in phase with the kick. Good job by Lane catching it, running to right away. Big play.
Drones. Georgia Tech has done a nice job on him to start this second half. Tootin's only got 1 yard on that play.
Yeah, another big play by Romello Height. He had that opening play of the game, the strip sack, strip fumble, and that one a nice play on the run.
Drones initially wanted to go a little tempo, now slows it down, barking out instructions to his line.
Yep, still in communication with the sideline through his helmet until 15 seconds.
Fakes the pitch to Drones. Wants to go downfield. Tried to get it to Benji Gosnell as tight end, but outstanding coverage. Rodney Shelley. Shelley settling in a little bit on the defensive end after that scare on the punt return. Once again, 3rd and long facing Virginia Tech. They'll move Drones outside the backfield. He has -4 yards on 4 carries here in this third quarter. Now he comes in motion. Drones looking to throw. Pressure on the edge. They got him. Flag down on the play. It's almost certainly going to be a hold. Could be an illegal hands to the face, though. Let's check it. Romello Height, Sylvan Yonjun, both combining on that sack.
Holding. Offense, number 65. Penalties decline. 4th down.
8th TFL of the day for this Georgia Tech defense.
Yeah, and this is going to be the hold on this side, but this is where Romello Height is going to come in and get the sack. See the hold. And then Romello Height and Yunjin combining for that sack.
John Love's going to try a 55-yard field goal. He hit a 57-yarder at Miami earlier this year, so this is within his range. Blocked. Georgia Tech makes another big play in special teams. Man, it has been feast or famine for them. That's the 5th block kick they've had this year. They've had issues on special teams. Zeke Bigger's 2nd block field goal on the season, keeping Virginia Tech off the scoreboard and giving Georgia Tech and Malik Rutherford another opportunity. Give them 4 or 5 yards on 1st down.
Let's see if that positive play on 1st down starts giving them some momentum on this drive.
Brent Key's team's 12 block kicks since he took over as the head coach here at Georgia Tech 2.5 years ago. That's intercepted. Kelly Lawson still on his feet. And Virginia Tech right back at it offensively in Georgia Tech territory.
Well, Kelly Lawson does a great job of getting out there. At first, he's trying to figure out, hey, where do I go? Where's my cover guy? He starts in the box and then late moves out to his receiver. You see him here. I'm going to go out to my cover down late, and that, I think, confuses Zach Byron. I think he took a peek out to the side where his wide receiver was uncovered. And you see Kelly Lawson late moving over there, and just a poor throw by Zach Byron. Easy interception for Kelly Lawson, and huge turnover.
Neither team has done much of anything offensively here in this second half. Flea flicker. Got a man downfield. Goes underneath to Gosnell. Had 2 men downfield. And opted to find Stephen Gosnell, his first catch of the day, and it's a big one, 27 yards.
I think it should have been a touchdown. You see from the left-hand side, you got Daquan Felt, number 9, wide open. But because the snap was a little bit bobbled, I think that Kyron Drone said, look, I think I feel a little bit more comfortable throwing the crossing route. Because right there, we could get it, but the crossing route seemed a little bit easier to get the velocity on the football. But after the play, Daquan Felton looked back at his quarterback and kind of put his arms out. And Kyron Drone was like, I know, I should have had you. I just didn't have the time to get the ball out.
Warren Burrell shaking up a little bit on the tackle. We've seen the younger of the Gosnell brothers. Benji Gosnell, the tight end, having a big day. Steven with his first catch. Puts Virginia Tech in the red zone. I say the younger of the brothers here in this game. They got about 10 brothers in that Gosnell family. Drones looking to throw. Has time, wants to go against the grain. To Felton. Broken up at the goal line. Amari Harvey.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that Amari Harvey again? Amari Harvey, he's a really good-looking cornerback for this Georgia Tech team. And I remember him from his time at FSU, transferred to Auburn, and here. But Amari Harvey, physical at the point of attack against the bigger Daquan Felton. He's had a really good game, this game, and a good season for Georgia Tech.
Veterans in the defensive backfield for Georgia Tech, all juniors, seniors, fifth-year seniors. Tootin. Tajay Butler again. Whatever adjustments this Georgia Tech defense is making on that running play, number 15 in white has played a big part of it.
Yeah, and what they've done, they've taken their defensive linemen and really eaten up the zone blocking scheme. They're getting 2 linemen, so no one's able to get up on the backers, and it allows Tajay Butler to flow directly to the football.
Third down. Drones. Over the middle. Felton. Dropped at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal there for the Hokies.
DeQuan Felton just beat Warren Burrell off the football.
Drones is going to keep it himself. He won't get in. They're going to take a look at this one. That play won't
There
count.
was no play prior to the snap. The field officials were buzzed by replay to review the previous play with the ruling that the runner was short of the goal line.
Crowd reaction is a little mixed. This is a good thing if you're a Virginia Tech fan.
I think the crowd reaction was like, wait, what do you mean? He didn't catch the football? And then they realized, oh, they're looking to see if we scored. And you saw this, oh, okay.
Take another look.
And DeQuan Felton, he just beats Warren Burrell right off the football.
I don't think he got in. I think the ball is right there on the outside, right where they originally marked it.
And I see Tay Seymour coming over and lowering that shoulder. It was a good call by the officials on the field. It's a great angle down the line here.
The ball is in that right arm.
After further review,
might have moved.
ruling on the field stand. 1st down.
If anything, they might move it back a little bit, but good catch.
Looks like it'll stay right there on the 1 foot line. And like we saw in the play that was whistled dead, I think we'll just see number 1 with a tush push. Probably on all 4 plays if they don't get it in.
You see Zeke Biggers, number 88, the gigantic defensive tackle right there in the middle as they line up in shotgun formation.
Shotgun here. They'll give it to Tootin. No, Drones keeps it and scores easily. Five plays and 42 yards after the interception. Points off turnovers. And John Love will attempt this kick to make it a 21-6 game. No problem.
Georgia Tech sells out off the edge and just collapses down. Both guys go to Tootin. No one is on the quarterback. Kyron Drones walks in for the easy score.
So that is a touchdown running, touchdown passing, and touchdown receiving on the day for number 1 in maroon. Now you got to think about Georgia Tech not exactly equipped as a team that's going to fashion a big comeback. They did it, remember, 2 years ago when Zach Byron was making his first career start. They were down 11 in the 4th quarter, came back to win on that day. But here down 21-6 with the clock just inside of 5 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter, and they've yet to find the end zone today. Got to make something happen on this drive, you got to think. Singleton. That'll help, but flag down behind the play. Forced out of bounds at the 35. We got to check the marker all the way back at the 16.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 4. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
mentioned Kyron Drones, the kind of day he's had. First off, Mark, what you would expect, him doing it with his arm. Then, catching the ball. Lane couldn't get that one out of his hands fast enough because Drones was so wide open. And then, when you're as big as Kyron Drones is, 6'2", 235, you're running it. Aaron Philo now in a quarterback for Georgia Tech. Hands it to Haynes. He cuts it back nicely. Dropped at the 17, pickup of 9 yards on the play. Philo, true freshman out of Bogart, Georgia. Kind of between Atlanta and Athens. Broke all kinds of high school passing records. Playing for Prince Avenue Christian. Getting an opportunity here on the road. Let's see what he can do in the third quarter. Haynes, first down.
He was a pitcher in high school as well. Threw a no-hitter in high school. And was homecoming king for his high school, so how fitting. He's out
Very
here for
well-rounded
homecoming.
individual. First down of the entire third quarter for this Yellow Jacket team. Haynes, nowhere to go. Loses his footing. Gonna lose almost 5 yards. Haynes himself has taken a beating today. See the jersey's all ripped and torn. If you're just joining us, headed to the locker room in the first half, towards the end of the first half to get checked out. Came back in the second. Just hasn't had a whole lot of room to run. Philo with play action. Tries to go over the top. And that time, Malik Rutherford. Just over the top too much. Trying to drop it in between the two defenders. I like the idea of going downfield a little bit more, maybe with Philo.
Yeah, well, I think you have to at this point in the game. Just not a lot's been going on, and if you are this young, true freshman quarterback, you got to watch out for 52 right here. Antoine Powell Ryland, nation sack leader.
Coming with pressure up the middle. Philo gets rid of it. That's Singleton, makes the catch and the first down. 21 yards. Aaron Philo put it on the money.
Not a lot of big plays so far in this game. Aaron Philo comes in. Good job on third down. Hitting his wide receiver. I mean, sometimes you come in as the third string guy and no pressure on you to win the game, but you just go out and play football.
Carey slams into the center of that defense. APR on the tackle, gets 3 yards on first.
You mentioned, his success and the passing yardage that he had in high school. A lot of times nowadays you see all the dual threat guys, and yes, he can do it with his legs, but he set a Georgia State high school record with almost 14,000 passing yards. That's insane. He broke Trevor Lawrence's high school record with 13,992 passing yards in high school.
Yeah, he can sling it. Trying to get it done on the ground here, and Keontae Jenkins says, You'll get 1 yard and like it. Now it's third down and about 7. Count it off at 6.
And you got to think, with Philo in the way you call the game is going to be a little bit more simple. See if they get back to the basics here.
That ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. He's trying to get it to Chase Lane on a quick slant route.
And Jaden Keller, number 24, the middle linebacker, he just elevates and gets his hand on the football. Watch 24 as he realizes I'm not going to get to the quarterback. He gets that right hand up in the passing lane. If he didn't tip that, I think Philo had a completion downfield on the deep slant route.
Lane trying to return this one from his 15. Feeling his oats a little bit after that last return. Gets 5 after a 44-yard kick. 2 more college games today on the ACC network. Wake Forest at Stanford. It's always an interesting trip. We've seen this year with traditional ACC teams heading out west, and then SMU, 22nd ranked in the country, at Duke. Playing that game in prime time at Wallace Wade Stadium. Both games also available on the ESPN app. Drones back in after his big day continues. Looking to throw on first down. No chance, as that ball was well beyond the reach of Jalen Lane. Burrell in coverage, another injury on the field.
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
That looks like Xavier Chaplin again. Man, he is having a rough day. This time he's holding his right ankle, trying to walk it off. That's 6'7", 323 pounds walking it off.
He got rolled up on by a defensive lineman. Xavier Chaplin, we mentioned it earlier in the game, but he was the ACC O-lineman of the week last week. And a phenomenal game, gave up no sacks. Obviously, they led the way for Bashal Tutin to have 266 yards on the ground. You see the obvious emotion that he has.
You know, it's interesting. We asked Brent Pry earlier this week, what's been the reason why the offensive line is playing so much better over the last couple of weeks, and it's a lot about positioning for him, like being in the right spot, hats on hats.
And then confidence, too. You know, I think we talked about Xavier Chaplin specifically, and his second year starting at that left tackle position. Last year he was leaning more on Bob Schick and the guys next to him at the guard and tell him what to do, and he's able to play faster and more aggressive now. And you see he's getting kind of rolled up on
right
by Jordan Vandenberg, the defensive tackle.
Frustrating day for 65, that is for sure. Two separate injuries as he makes his way back to that Virginia Tech bench. Second down and 10.
I think the field's feeling some pain after he punched it so many times, too.
Dent. It's aerated. Tutin got a blocker in front of him. Georgia Tech does a nice job of stringing it out. Lamiles Brooks couldn't quite bring him down, but he slowed him down enough for his teammates to come give him some help.
Good aggressive play by Lamiles Brooks. I mean, that's what you need from your free safety. Once the run is declared and you see that lane, you got to fly. And he flew, missed the tackle, but slowed down Tutin.
Inside of a minute left in this third quarter. Big third down for Georgia Tech defensively. Drones to throw. Pressure again off the edge. And he just got it away. Romello Height has gotten pressure from all different directions today for Georgia Tech.
Incomplete pass. Fourth down.
Romello Height is so fast coming off the edge. Great closing speed.
Yonjuan almost squeezed that for the interception.
Almost intercepted. Yonjuan and Height have been great off the edge on third downs for Georgia Tech defensively.
Third 3 and out in this quarter for Virginia Tech. Moore's had a great day punting the ball, driving Shelley back to his 22. And he'll be dropped for a loss on that return. Dante Lovett. Great job in coverage. 56-yard punt and a negative return for Rodney Shelley.
Georgia Tech is very much still in this football game. The way their defense has been playing, continually giving the ball back to the offense. We saw a little bit of explosion from Aaron Philo on the last drive, but they need to work the ball down the field, right? They've had a couple plays here and there where you see this might be a spark, but it's been the negative plays on first down that have put Georgia Tech in compromising positions. You got to have progressive plays on first down, second down, third down to get back in this game.
Final 19 seconds of this third quarter. Philo to throw on play action. Avoids the rush. Now going downfield. Has his man. Singleton makes the catch inside the 30. Perfectly placed bomb from Philo in double coverage, and Singleton came down with it.
Well, that play did not look like
Game, I think. We got to protect him a little bit better, and we have to establish the run better.
Oh, what did you notice about the difference on that last play, the long pass here?
Yeah, we got a middle post safety right there. You know, he's got to go make the play on the ball.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you, Coley. Coach, Philo misfiring on first down from the 26 as we start this fourth quarter. Quickly out to Rutherford. Gets down to about the 20. We'll bring up 3rd and 4. Mansour Delane on the tackle. Haynes. He's going to come up a little bit short, about a yard shy. You got to go for it on this one, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, it's 4-down territory here.
They'll bring in Harrison Moore, true freshman left tackle out of South Lake Carroll. He'll wear number 44 in white, so some extra beef up front.
How about this moment for Aaron Philo, true freshman quarterback, 4th and 1.
Haynes won't get there. Stopped short by Keontae Jenkins.
Wow, what a play by Keontae Jenkins. All eyes are on number 11, Jamal Haynes. Where is he going to be? They're going to hand him the football. Keontae Jenkins is a phenomenal job of shooting right here, coming off the edge and just getting a clear shot on the running back, unblocked by the tight end. Great job playing both quarterback and the dive. Huge tackle.
That Virginia Tech defense bending but not breaking, keeping the Yellow Jackets out of the end zone. Tootin picks up about 5.
That's a big play for this Virginia Tech team. Last week versus Boston College, they went up big early in the game, but allowed Boston College to chip back away and score 21 unanswered points in the third quarter. There was that lull that the defense had, and this week, not budging after the big play by Georgia Tech.
Drones, again pressure. Avoids it and throws this one away. Tajay Butler was one of many Jackets to get into the backfield. Wreaking havoc with Kyron Drones today. He has been on the move all game long. Quickly out to Lane. Runs into the back of his own blocker and then gets dropped for a loss. This Georgia Tech defense standing up and giving their team every opportunity in this game, getting the ball back to the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and that play by Rodney Shelley, it was played perfectly. He was being blocked by Benji Gosnell, the tight end. He did a great job getting his hands inside on the tight end, driving him back into the ball carrier, then shedding and making the tackle. Phenomenal job by Shelley, who now is back to return the kick.
Almost blocked. Moore got it off. Crowd wanted to get a running into the punter, but they aren't going to get it. You can hear their dissatisfaction as Tay Seymour
with a poise in the pocket.
And now he's going to be behind the sticks as Tech will move back 5 yards to start this drive.
Full start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Keelan Rutledge, the guilty party. These have been drive killers for both teams today.
Hey, when you have a new quarterback, different cadence, a little bit of different clap rhythm. Not sure whether they're going on a silent count or not, but things change up a little bit when there's a different person back there, especially the third different person so far this year for the O-line.
Rutherford in motion. Philo. Tunnel screen to Singleton. Almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 11.
Another good play by this defensive line, working inside out, reacting to that screen pass.
Penny, the Frenchman. Got a Belgian on the defensive line for Georgia Tech and a Frenchman for Virginia Tech. He's been all over the place today. Empty backfield for Philo. Virginia Tech rushes just 4. Forces Philo out of the pocket. That's a nice play, but Stockton's going to be out of bounds.
I don't think he caught it.
Oh, he did. They got it for him. Wow, at the 39.
How about that catch by Bailey Stockton, and how about that arm strength?
Let's see where that foot lands. Oh, my God. There's Green there. He did get in. Wow.
You see the official right there on the
My
line.
bet on that. Who am I to doubt Bailey
How
Stockton?
about that throw, though? On the run, dead out sprint to the right.
Great throw, great catch. Gives him an opportunity here on 3rd and short. Philo steps into it. Receiver dropped it again. Couple of really bad drops for Georgia Tech receivers. Malik Rutherford has both of them today. Could have been first downs on 2 separate drives.
See that arm strength? Aaron Philo. I mean, that looked like Brett Favre throwing the football.
Georgia Tech's going to go for it here, leaving the offense on the field at the 11:02 mark. Georgia Tech does have 13 fourth down conversions on the season. That's the second most in the entire country. They need another one here. Philo can't connect with Haynes. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Good job by Virginia Tech making Aaron Philo make a decision right now. Bringing pressure. Forced Philo to come off of the deeper routes and get it out to his running back. Just a little bit too much on the football. A good stand by this Virginia Tech team. Again, not allowing Georgia Tech to even sniff a comeback here in the 4th quarter.
And it's Tootin time for the Hokies. Runs out of bounds after he picks up just a couple. Kaius Scott ran him out. More John between Tootin and members of this Georgia Tech defense. That was Mello Height.
Game of 2, 2nd and 8 for the Hokies.
Drone's more than happy to let that play clock wind inside of 10 before clapping his hands for the snap. Now he gets it, rolls the pocket, looks for his tight end. He's covered, still throws it out to him and makes the catch, but hasn't even lost a yard on the play. Rodney Shelley again in coverage for the Yellow Jackets. Clock winding inside of 10 minutes left to go on this one. And again, that play clock inside of 10 seconds. That's Tootin in motion. Pass batted down, but Drones was able to make the catch right into his hands. His second catch of the day. This one not quite as successful as the first one for a Virginia Tech fan.
No, and Romello Height again coming off the edge, making a difference in this ball game, gets his hand up and deflects that pass.
It is a big loss for the Hokies, but it does keep the clock running, which they want to do. Get inside of 9 minutes before Peter Moore has to put a toe to this ball. Shelley standing by on his own 8-yard line for Georgia Tech. Moore with another good kick. Shelley forced to call for and make a fair catch at his own 7. The Yellow Jackets got to put something together right now. Still trailing by 15.
4 games left. This is one of their last 4 games. So with the 4-game redshirt rule, you're going to see more and more freshmen play for this team. And so, Aaron Philo, he's only played in 1 game so far this year. So, it's not a worry. He could play the next couple games for Georgia Tech if Haynes King is not able to come back and still keep his red shirt for this year.
Philo keeps it and picks up the first down.
Number 12, Aaron Philo on the quarterback keeper.
And the last short yardage play, Georgia Tech realized that Virginia Tech was completely keyed in on Jamal Haynes. Showed them Haynes, and then Philo kept the ball for the first down on that one.
Play fake to Haynes. Wants to go downfield. That's just a little bit outside of the reach of Chase Lane. Had him open. Slightly off target. But you can see put a lot of zip on that ball.
A lot of zip on the football, just didn't get it up high enough, obviously.
You see his numbers since coming into this game.
And not overwhelming numbers by any means, but you kind of get the feel that Georgia Tech has a better chance of winning this football game with him at quarterback.
Haynes stays in the block. And there was no chance on that pass completion either. That was way over the head of his intended receiver, Eric Singleton. Mansour Delane again in coverage. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. Crowd on their feet here at Lane. Good pass. That's the freshman Canyon, another true freshman. Won't be enough for the first down, but it gets them to a place where the entire playbook is open.
Yeah, we're in 4-down territory here at this point in the game for Georgia Tech. Chris Marv, the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech, has done a good job of mixing up the blitzes and the pass coverages, showing Philo one thing, giving him another after the snap.
Rolling the pocket. This time his receiver hangs on 4th down, and they'll move the sticks as Rutherford took a shot from Keontae Jenkins. That's the toughest one he's had today, and he hung on to that one.
He hung on to it. Go back to him. He is your leading receiver. Leads the ACC in receptions coming into the week. Had a couple bad drops, but good job holding on to that one. And Keontae Jenkins, again, with another big tackle.
He's been all over the field today, 7 in red. Fresh set of downs for Georgia Tech. Fake to Haynes. Philo. Again, hits Rutherford over the middle. Coley, what's going on?
Well, Chris, just before this drive, I was actually keeping an eye on Georgia Tech receiver Malik Rutherford on the bench after his previous drop. He had his hands down into his head during, well, let's watch this play right here.
He may get another opportunity the way things are going. Philo still on his feet. What an effort. just to avoid the loss and pick up 2 yards. Keep going, Coley.
Yeah, when Rutherford came over to the bench on that last drive, he took his gloves off, he sat down, had his head in his hands, really felt discouraged. He didn't look up once until it was time to come back on the field. He was getting some encouragement from some of his teammates and coaches, and even a Virginia Tech fan nearby was telling him to keep his head in the game and keep his head up. And, well, he had the 2 catches just now, so he certainly did that.
Yes, certainly this has
Officials
been
timeout for an injured offensive player.
the best he has looked on this drive, right when Georgia Tech needed it the most.
Media timeout.
Corey Robinson banged up. We'll check in on him when we come back. Philo, again the play fake. Hits Canyon. Still on his feet. What a move. The true freshman down to the 24-yard line. Isaiah Canyon out of Warner Robins, Georgia.
What a throw. Nice throw, good reception, good job avoiding the tackle.
Philo again to throw, and again looks Canyon's way. It's just out of his reach. Mansour Delane on coverage. They are really high on 13 and white in his future.
And you're seeing him play. Again, we mentioned there's 4 games left in the season for Georgia Tech. They have 2 bye weeks remaining on their schedule. And so even though they're planning on redshirting these freshmen, now they can have an impact on this season and this game.
Philo looks to the sideline. Too high for Haynes. Keller in coverage from his linebacker spot, 3rd and 10.
This part of the field, Virginia Tech defense has been really good, not allowing Georgia Tech to really move beyond the 15-yard line all game. Had to settle for 2 field goals last time they were even around that 20-yard line.
Going to the end zone for Lane, just overshoots him. Delane again in coverage, and outstanding coverage on this play. 4th down and 10.
Both of these cornerbacks for Virginia Tech are big and strong, physical players. That one, another good coverage by Mansour Delane. How about this, 4th down.
Let's see if Marv dials up some pressure. They bring just 4 and spy 1. Pass behind Lane, incomplete. Jalen Jones frustrated with himself, thought he might have had a pick. The end result is the same, turnover on downs, and the Hokies now will look to put the 4-minute offense into play. Now it's a frustrating day for Brent Key and his staff as they're going to go back to the drawing board with a week to work on some things before Miami. As Tootin, it'll now be his time, picks up about 6 on 1st down.
Georgia Tech's going to start taking their timeouts.
Timeout. Georgia Tech, their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
Still a 2-score game. And it's been because Georgia Tech's defense has kept it that way. They have been phenomenal in this second half, not allowing Virginia Tech to get on the scoreboard after that first touchdown on the short field.
Don't forget Wake Forest and Stanford coming up next, 3:30 Eastern, as soon as we wrap up here. 8 o'clock tonight, number 22 SMU at Duke. That should be another interesting road test for SMU. Both games are also available on the ESPN app, so check them out. Mention the undefeated teams in conference play in the ACC. Got Clemson and Miami. Miami taking on Florida State today. Got SMU and Pitt the big win on Thursday night, Panthers remain unbeaten. Tootin falls forward, maybe just picked up that first down. Tootin's going to have 79 yards on the day on the ground. A couple of big plays in that second quarter that got Virginia Tech's offense rolling after they were really bogged down at the start of this game. And that first down will allow Brent Pry's crew to really work on that clock. You can see that play clock inside of 10 seconds.
Virginia Tech was not set at all. I don't know why they snapped the football. Wide receivers were not aligned, even just out of the huddle.
Full start. Offense. There was no time when all 11 players were set. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Good description by Stuart Mullins there. There's no time when anybody was set at any time.
No one was
Please
set.
reset the game clock to 3:25. 3 minutes, 25 seconds, please. And it will start on the snap. Thank you.
Bashel met in the backfield, driven backwards. Ball comes out, but they're going to blow it dead. Wow. And Tootin is not getting up.
Really on the field as the runner's forward progress was stopped. Timeout. Georgia Tech. Their second of the half. "30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 3:21. 3 minutes, 21 seconds, please.
Georgia Tech is going to
Also, we
call
have
a
an official's
timeout.
timeout for an injured offensive player.
And Bashel Tootin is obviously in a lot of pain.
Georgia Tech is not charged with a timeout. Timeout for an offensive injury.
His ankle gets rolled up right here at the end. This is not pretty to watch.
That's that left ankle, you're right. Ball comes out. It was whistled dead. Forward progress had stopped. That's the good news on that play for Virginia Tech. The bad news is 33 is still down on the turf. Now he gets up. Let's listen to this and listen to hear for the whistle as to when it blows.
The clock will start on my signal.
The whistle was clearly after the ball came out, but the officials, it's up to their determination whether forward progress was stopped and they were just a beat slow in terms of blowing the whistle, which can happen. Close, though. So a break that it was called as it was for Virginia Tech on the field. Second down and 15. Malachi Thomas avoids one tackler. Out to the 36. Jason Moore on the tackle.
Georgia Tech, their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
There you see Tootin on the bench. Having that left leg, left lower leg looked at. They're on the road next week at Syracuse. Syracuse team that will be looking to bounce back after a rough outing on Thursday night against Pitt. Here's what's left for Virginia Tech. There's just one loss in conference at Syracuse, tough one with Clemson at home, at Duke, and then they'll finish things up with the rivalry for the Commonwealth on the 30th. That is a tough stretch in November, there's no question about it, but still alive for a berth in the ACC championship game with just that one loss if they can hang on today. And this is a huge play, obviously. Tech with just one timeout left. Virginia Tech will just keep it on the ground and won't get anything out of it. Georgia Tech will use that one final timeout and won't be able to get the ball back.
Timeout. Georgia Tech, their third and final of the half. 30-second timeout.
Mentioned Georgia Tech as an off week, then Miami. Then they'll have another off Saturday before their Thursday game at home against NC State. So you can see what they've got left. Remember, they started in week 0 against Florida State in Ireland. So this one bye week and then kind of one bye Saturday before the extra 5 days before that Thursday game.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird time of the year for Georgia Tech. I mean, they've already had, they have one of the most difficult schedules in all of the ACC, and one of their non-conference games is obviously Georgia, and that kind of makes that lopsided. Playing Notre Dame last week as well, and the season started so early for them that you see these bye weeks all bunched together. They're going to have to make a big effort to stay together during that time, especially when you're going week on, week off, week on, week off.
And get everybody healthy, most notably Haynes King. Moore with the punch, Shelley bobbling it, and is able to finally corral it. It has been, Rodney Shelley has had an interesting day.
It's hard for a defender to return punts. I mean, you see it sometimes because they have the agility, they have the speed, but when you're returning punts, that means you just played a series on defense. And you don't have freshness of the offensive players sat on the bench for at least 3 plays. You probably tackled some people, like your shoulders and your hands might not feel the same as they did on first down. I mean,
we've seen him make a couple of really outstanding plays on defense and then have to hustle back to return the punt. So it does become an issue. Philo to throw. First completion on the drive. Finds Malik Rutherford. That's 10 yards and a first down. Just like that, Malik has 6 catches for 53 yards, seemingly all of them here in the fourth quarter. Philo has his receiver open. Down to the 41-yard line. That's Boyd, the big tight end, showing his athleticism all the way downfield. 24 yards.
Great throw by Philo, finding that tight end down the seam. He delivered that with accuracy and intention.
For an injured defensive player.
Mansour Delane shaken up for Virginia Tech. So we get another timeout on the field. We're working on the headgear. Coley, what's going on down in the field?
Well, Chris, just had a chance to see what's going on with Virginia Tech running back Bajel Tootin, and he was just walking on his own power, I will say, into an x-ray room that's just behind the Hokies bench. Before he went in there, the athletic trainers were taking a look at his lower left leg, as you mentioned. It appeared to be they were checking all parts of his ankle, both high and low. So we'll keep an eye if he comes back out there.
The previous play ended with 2 minutes, 14 seconds on the game clock. Clock will start on my 6. Thank you.
Battery pack on Stuart Mullins. Mike is going to go dead before the end of this game. We have heard from him a lot. Philo's having an outstanding afternoon coming in for Zach Pyron. Wants to get this team into the end zone, though, to give him a chance. Going for it all on this play. And no chance on that one as it was well overthrown to Eric Singleton.
The ability to get 2 plays in before this 2-minute timeout, it's big. You kind of look at what you want to do. Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, probably gave Aaron Philo 2 plays. They're going to be back-to-back. That incompletion allows them to have another play before the 2-minute timeout.
Philo 12 for 24, 184 yards, including 4 completions of 20-plus yards. That element he certainly has added to this Georgia Tech attack today. This time he dumps it off, and Haynes again can't quite get the completion.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout here in Blacksburg. Georgia Tech trying to get in the end zone for the first time today when we come back. Pressure off the edge. Philo gets rid of it. And again, just overthrows his receiver, Malik Rutherford, who's upset, thought he was held on the way down the field.
They're allowing a lot of hand fighting on the outside with these defensive backs. See a lot of kind of hand fighting with Jalen Jones down the field.
4th down. Philo steps up. Boyd can't make the catch, and it's intercepted. Jalen Jones finally goes down, and that's going to do it.
We're going to feel it's an interception. First down.
That unfortunately will go against Aaron Philo as an interception, but he put that ball right on the money, Mark.
Oh man, he found Avery Boyd right down the seam. Hit him right in the chest. I mean, that ball could not have been thrown any better. That has got to be caught by Avery Boyd. What a gutsy effort by this Georgia Tech defense, just continuing to give opportunities to this offense. But at the end of the day, Virginia Tech played all 3 phases of this game really well, played complimentary football. They rightfully so come out with the win.
Most importantly for the Hokies, they'll improve to 3-1 in conference play. For Georgia Tech, they'll drop to 3-3, and we'll have to wait another day to become bowl eligible. They'll have a week to heal up with Haynes King, most importantly, and then it's Miami at home.
Yeah, we showed that schedule. Only 3 chances left, right, to get that 6th win.
Hokies will win their 3rd straight ever since that disappointing loss against Miami. As they continue to play really well here in Blacksburg. Georgia Tech's 4-game win streak here on this field will come to an end as the 2 coaches embrace at midfield. Both of them in their 3rd seasons as head coach at their respective schools. Brent Key's 2nd full season. He began mid-season as an interim head coach 3 years ago. Cannon shot tells us we've gone final as the 2 quarterbacks share a word or two.